promise I want to ask you any more questions until we're live. And guess what? We're
We're
live.
live.
So we've been chatting kind of behind the scenes. I have DJ Strick. You're in the right place to stream show, and I have Joe Swift here with me. And I said I was going to do an intro, and we got to talking, Joe, and let's
Yeah.
just come on, man, because I'm so excited to share you with the community. So if you're coming on, please say hello to us. Let me know where you're watching from. Joe here is from Queens, New York. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, and we are all over the world with Ecamm right now. And we're going to talk about this movie that Joe produced. Joe, let me tell you something, man. If I'm so inspired by your creativity with this movie,
Thank you.
Podcast Heroes, brother. Like, kudos to you and your hard work and putting it all together. If people don't know, you can see it in the thumbnail. Joe had an opportunity to actually build a podcast movie using AI. He had a great concept, a great story. Joe, I just want to get started, man. Let's just talk about the decision to do this. Like, why put together a podcast movie like this? Why do this?
Okay. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, man, I appreciate you being here with me.
One reason was it was out of frustration and rejection. I was rejected from an event that I wanted to attend, and I was in the house, and I was saying to myself, I have to like find something to do. I don't know. I don't want to just sit here bored. And
Wow.
then I was just watching stuff on YouTube, YouTube, seeing some of your work, and I was inspired to create those action figures, the
Right.
AI action figures. That's where it started. And after I got that spark, I just was in the lab in the house creating little graphics, and then said to myself, I wonder if I could turn this into a 30-second video clip, which I did. Then the ultimate goal, I said to myself, I wonder if I could make this 5 minutes and actually turn it into a 14-minute AI film.
Man, I think that the idea behind it, and not only the idea, but you actually pushed the effort in making it a movie and then promoted it like it was a movie, like it is,
Yeah.
and tell everybody like the story of the movie. So not only do you have the creativity of being bored, so let's create something, you created something, but it has a good story as well. You mind telling that?
Okay. So I had the characters. I just didn't have the story. Had characters in mind, but I said, how can I make this into a long form story? So I was saying to myself, well, I do podcasts and I help people with podcasts. That was the first like idea or the first structure. But then I said to myself, I can't just have the movie just about me. I have to have characters. Who should I include? And then I remembered one of my nieces, she's 16 now. She's into music and she's dabbling into software. So I said I'll include her. And then
Okay.
I have a 4-year-old niece, and she came to my house one day and she put on the headphones and she was using the Roadcaster. And I said I got it. I'm gonna include both of them in the movie. My mother has a podcast which I engineer. So I
That's
said I'm gonna have my
awesome.
mother and my my two nieces in the movie, and they'll be the main characters, including me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So inside of this movie you created, and I wish I had, I'm gonna find while I can at least bring up the thumbnail, or people can actually see the thumbnail. Matter of fact, you have something
Have
there. You can show them like some of the graphics that you came up with.
Yeah, I actually have a physical flyer right here. I don't know how well it shows on camera. Let's see.
Yeah, that did it. That did it. Podcast
Okay.
Heroes. Oh man,
Yeah.
that is so cool. And did you put it into some festivals? Like actually added the movie into festivals or things like that?
Yes, I started that over the summer. One of them is the Urban World Film Festival. I submitted it for that film festival, which I think takes place in November. I'm waiting to find out if my movie will be picked up by them. And I submitted it to one other. This is like an AI short movie film festival. It got rejected, so kind of upset. But I realized that not all of them you'll win or be picked up in.
Right.
So that's where I'm at right now with film festivals.
Are you doing any more of that? Like, are you constantly building stories and actually using the AI tools to do movies now, other than the one you have?
Yes, I have. While I was working on this movie, I was creating a second movie at the same time, which is totally different than Podcast Heroes. But I was saying to myself, let me slow down. I'm doing too much, trying to do two different storylines and create different characters for different movies. So I actually have a poster, but I just never released it because there's no full storyline for the second movie. And being the fact I want to make it like a real movie, which is turns into a business. So I said, let me slow down. I'm going too fast. Let me just stick with Podcast Heroes. But I have another movie in my head. I have a small script. And well, I guess we'll get back to this, but my manager at my job and people from my community, from them hearing what I was doing, they jumped aboard. They had their ideas. They said, well, let's see how we could get this funded and this and that. So
That's
it's
awesome.
bigger than me right now.
That's awesome, man. That is really cool because, when you're doing stuff like this, collaboration is always key. It's
Hmm.
hard to play every role, especially in roles that you may not have played before. But what I
Sure.
want to get back to in your story is how, from writing this, because I think it has a great concept of you and your mom actually going to different people, teaching them how to tell their story through podcasting because it's a story, but there's some real world applications to it,
Yeah.
which I really like. How did you figure out how to write this? Because you have to. There are people that do screenplays. They have to go to training. They have to figure all that out. Like, what helped you get to the point where you fleshed out this story that was trackable, along with the graphics? Like, what? How did you write this?
I use real life situations. I help my mother on her podcast, and from in real life, I do that. And throughout the years, we have built a network where I help and train other people with their podcasts. Some people come from radio, some people come from mental health industry, all different backgrounds. So I added real life situations to make it easier for me to like write the story because some of it is based on, real life situations. And I had the help of my manager at my job, Roz. She helped write piece of the movie. So all
Okay.
that plus just me sitting there in the house just thinking, what could I add? And then, of course, I had the help of AI, ChatGPT, and other platforms to expand upon what I was writing because I'm not a writer on that level. So I
Right.
had something little, little scripts written, but it was nowhere near 4 or 5 minutes worth of content. And then I had to understand how to write it based on the animation and all that. So with the chat GBT and the other platforms to help structure it better, my thoughts. And I said, okay, let me see. Then scene two, scene three. And then I then expanded where I'm thinking about people in my community who have businesses. Well, I help them. How can I add them into a movie and have a script for them? So I picked some key people and then it just, it went from there.
I think that's awesome. So, you got the script written. You got
Hmm.
your manager at your job. You got ChatGPT. It's so funny how you're making a movie using AI to do the illustration, which this is not really like new technology. It's new technology to like just the normal consumer.
Hmm.
Hollywood has been
Yes.
doing this for years. I mean,
Oh,
Pixar,
yes.
that's what it is,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But now having it in our hands, like as you were creating this, how did you feel making those scenes?
At first, I felt amazing. I was like, just looking at it, I'm like, this actually was created. Like, well, it's real. It's not physically real, but it's something that, like, it exists. Like,
Right,
it's been created. And as you were saying, Pixar and other companies like that, they've been doing this for decades. It's nothing new to them. So
right,
it's regular. The one part where I got frustrated at was the prompts where the images wouldn't come out exactly the way I wanted it because I do come from television. I come from a graphical background. So I'm saying, oh, the color is not the way I wanted exactly, the resolution, but it got me more than halfway there. So I
right,
was at first I was like happy and just like running around like it was Christmas. I was like, oh my gosh, look what I created.
right, Right, right. I think I said that when I saw it. I was like, man, this is really dope. Seeing some of the graphics on Instagram that you would share and some of the video pieces you would share, I thought it was really, really interesting. And I'm like, man, people are really taking this serious because it is there. I had a chance to kind of dabble in it myself.
Hmm.
And what I had the struggle with, and this was probably about 3 or 4 months ago, getting the consistent characters in different
Yes,
scenes, allowing the characters to kind of look and feel the same. Now, 4 months later, guess what? There are new AI programs and apps and
correct.
softwares that do that a little better than what was available 4 months ago when you were actually doing this movie. So, with that being said, are you still using some of the applications that you used then, or have you graduated to using others now?
I'm slowly graduating to the other tools. I knew this would happen because the technology, as you know, is moving so quickly. I think for me, this is the fastest technology that I have seen in my life
Week to
that's
week,
moving.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
week to week. It's like the stock market, the weather
yeah,
is just constantly changing. So I know of Nano Banana, Google's new tool, which
right.
I'm amazed at. I was like, where were you 4 months ago? I
I
guess they were
know.
in the lab working on it.
But
But
you could have
yeah,
used that
I'm
4 months ago.
exactly. So I'm slowly transitioning into the new tools because I was slowly building up a workflow with the new tools that were brand new to me. Now it's like to transition again and add it takes me time to figure out what should I cancel, what should I keep, how can I go from this to this? Do I still need this? You know.
So your personal mindset with that, you said that, hey, I want to try some of this other stuff that's out. At the same time, you know, there are some tools that are updating just as well as Google is bringing out some stuff. Really, you wait a week, the program that you were working on, wanting to get better character consistency, it updates and you have it for the system you're using. What is your mindset as you have worked through that? Because what has happened, you have worked through the tough part of creating, okay,
Yeah.
actually getting in there and trying to do the consistency, trying to get the prompts right, trying to get the scenes right. Like, I know how difficult that was for me doing some small scenes or doing the action figures and all the other kind of stuff.
Correct.
It is not easy, but for you to then say, hey, I want to put these scenes together, are you amazed now by some of the systems updates with what you actually used?
I'm amazed. I knew this was gonna happen, as I said, but I'm still amazed on how quickly this is happening. I was telling people, I was saying this was like say in May. I'll say give it to July 4th. We're gonna have watch because the way it's moving from May to July 4th would be equivalent to maybe 2 3 years later in the
Right.
regular world. So when I see like Nano Banana and those type of new updates. I'm not totally surprised, but I'm saying, okay, I had an idea this was gonna come. I didn't know specific date on what company was gonna put what out, but I'm like, okay, we're heading in the direction that I thought. I have good feelings and bad feelings about it, but um, I see where it's going. I say, okay, okay,
So I want to go back to you saying, hey, I didn't get a chance to go to this event. I was at home bored and I started to create. Um, that process from boredom to creating, and then I may be putting words in your mouth. I know at some point it had to be really, really frustrating uh, trying to work these prompts and get these scenes together. Can you tell me like the life cycle of the creations that you came up with, the podcast heroes? Like, what was it really like for you? Because I don't want content creators that are watching this, they see you now and you created a movie but not know the process, and I don't want people to be afraid of the process,
hmm
because in anything you create there's going to be times of some great success, I did this, and then some real frustrations of why I want this thing do what I'm asking it to do. Can you tell us what that was like for you, the life cycle of podcast heroes creating it?
yeah, extremely frustrating, extremely. But I've been down that route before in other areas, so I guess the other stuff I've done in my life prepared me for the frustration that I was gonna come across. I just knew how to deal with it better. So, for
Gotcha.
example, the consistent characters or getting errors, the color is not the way I wanted to, the dimensions is not 16 by 9, and I told it 16 by 9, and it's
Right.
giving me some weird dimensions. So that frustrated me. Hours on the computer. I had to be mindful of my physical health because I ended up hurting my arm by it being like in this position, like typing, that I had to go to physical therapy. I'm still
No
going to physical
way.
therapy for like pain in my arm. And I'm saying, where did this pain come from? Then I'm thinking, I'm saying, well, it started around the same time I was doing the movie. And then my
Wow.
doctor saying, you need to stop, you need to spend less time on the computer. I'm like, I can't, I'm making a movie.
Wow.
So the physical part of it is physical pain, and then just the mental frustration of the new technology that, I don't know how many people come from Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, programs like that, where kind of when you want to create something, you can actually get it the way you want, as long as you understand the tools. With the AI, it's a whole different workflow. That's another thing I had to learn, the whole different workflow of typing prompts. I'm used to like having the mouse and clicking on, tools and cutting stuff out and all that. And I have to type it. I'm like, that's so weird to me. I'm not used to that,
What
you
would you
know.
see that would make that process different? Do you think if we're able to like maybe take I don't know if I'm saying this right. I want to say the JSON code and knowing how to work those codes could make it work a little better with building scenes.
I feel a little bit. I've used the JSON coding language in, I guess, in Google, and I see the structure. It's more structured. So I say, okay, I understand, but it's still typing. Or you could have ChatGPT or platforms like that create the JSON code for you, tell it what you want, and it gives you a structure. So I like that. But I'm really waiting for Adobe or company like that to integrate all the tools or most of the tools into Adobe, similar to a Photoshop style. I don't know if that would ever happen, but something similar to that versus just typing. I know we're
And then you
still,
have layers that you can then work with. So if
yes,
something's
yeah,
not there, you can just,
correct.
circle that and, wand it out or something like that.
Yeah. Some sites I see have like the circling and stuff like that, but it's still not on the level of Adobe. And Adobe, I don't know what they're doing in the lab right now, but to us customers, I don't see it yet. I see the other
Right.
companies surpassing. So I'm like, come on, there has to be something similar to that versus everything is just typing prompts, and then you got to be a good prompter.
Got to be a good prompter. So, of course, you were using ChatGPT to actually do the prompts. Did you actually use the verbal commands with ChatGPT, or
No,
were you
I
typing those
never.
prompts as
y-
well? Okay, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard.
how I
Like,
messed up
hey, I
my
want to
hand.
write a prompt. You had to ask it to write a prompt for you. So, and sometimes, Joe, I just feel like sometimes you don't know what you don't know to even be able to say, I don't know this. Tell me what
Correct.
this is what I want. Tell me what I don't know so that I can get the outcome that I'm asking for.
Yeah, so I had to kind of reprogram my mind and take it a step further and say, wait, I don't know how to write this correctly. Can you write this the way it's supposed to be written? And then it'll spit it out and say, okay, now with this good prompt, create this. And then I'm putting in like in a document as a template to say, okay, when I want to create the next scene, use this structure. Because I
Right.
didn't know how to write. I'm writing it just off the top of my head. Create a lady and a guy on a bus, and the guy's driving on the right side. I said, that's okay, but we're in America and we drive on the left. And I was like, I'm not gonna. I want to use the image because it looks nice, but the guy's driving on the wrong side. But if it
Right.
was maybe Europe, it would be the correct side. I'm like, I can't use this image. I gotta do it again.
Right. And out of 14, 15 minutes, how many different scenes do you feel like you produced?
In 14 minutes, maybe two.
As far as your movie, like the whole movie is that length. Like how many different scenes did you have to create to make the movie?
I lost count, probably hundreds. I didn't even really count. I just said, nope, nope, not this one. Oh, maybe put this in a maybe folder and then do it again and say, all right, out of these three, all right, which one I'm going to use? Then I'm getting tired and frustrated. And then I said, let me just turn off the computer, come back later on or in the morning.
Wow. So you actually had to do this around all the other stuff you were doing, work and everything else, photography, the whole nine.
Oh, yes, that's true. Even my manager said, I don't know how you find time, Joe, to do all this during work, you
Wow.
know.
So, hey man, Hank is hanging out with us. Hello to you, Hank. Thanks for coming through today. I want to inspire people with this. So, Joe's a part of the Ecamm family. He's been with us since about 2021, and he has his own show that he's been doing. He's a photographer, he's a DJ, he just has a lot going on. And making a AI generated podcast hero animated show with the animations, the illustrations, and the story, I'm just blown away. And I want to be sure that all of the Ecamm family knows about this, not just to know about Joe. Joe is a really cool guy, right? He's somebody to know, but know that you can do this too. We talk about it all. Now, there's a hurdle that you have to overcome because he lost count of how many scenes did he had to make. Like, that's a big deal. Like, I don't want you to skim past that. And I want to go back to something that I think content creators need to be aware of. All right. Sitting in these seats, especially coming through the pandemic, I have some of the stiffest hips you ever want to know. Okay. Like, just getting up sometimes, straightening out my body because I'm in this chair a lot of the day. All right. I'm creating in this here. So not only is this my studio where I go live, but it's also my office where I create all of the graphic stuff that I do. I work for all of my clients in this room. And I probably need to invest in a better chair, but the chair is not the problem. The problem is I'm sitting for long periods and I do have really, really stiff hips because of that. Joe talked about how he is now getting physical therapy on his arm because of the time that the position that he was in actually creating. And I want people to be aware that you have to take care of your physical body as well as your mental strength to be able to get through this all of this. Now, Joe, I know that a lot of people would have quit doing what you did
Yeah.
because it was fun up until you had to do the next scene.
Yeah, then it wasn't fun anymore. I was like, oh
Then I'm
man.
sure that it wasn't fun anymore. It's just like, getting started. It's like, oh, cool, I got a great 10 seconds. Man, these 10 seconds is awesome. But when
Yep.
you got to get to, you ended up 10 seconds, got to turn it into 15 minutes. That is a ridiculous amount of time based on what I know it would have to take to actually, do all of these scenes. And I just want people to be aware of that because guess what, Joe? A lot of us do quit. Like,
Yeah.
it's just too hard. I want to know, like, from you, why stick with it? Why say, hey, I'm going to do the movie and with all of the hard parts, actually sit, do it, and get it done and promote it and like excellent job all the way around. Like, what made you stick
Thank you.
with it?
I would say God and my family. Like I was waking up every day with different ideas. So no matter how frustrated I was, like an idea would come to me and like that only happens like through God and it was just something I can't explain. It was just like a weird feeling where stuff is just coming to me and like I had to act on it. I was like, let me get up. I'll go to sleep at 11, 12 o'clock at night and just get up 3 in the morning. Oh my gosh, I could create this. Let me
Wow.
go back on the computer. I said, but I gotta sleep. I'll be up for
Wow.
another 2 hours, and the sun be coming up like, oh, let me go to sleep, and then wake up to go to do my job, and then I said, can't wait till work is finished. I gotta finish this, but then I said, oh, it's not coming out the way I want. I'm done, and then get another idea and just continue, and then that process was going on until I finished the movie. It's I don't know,
That's
it's just
called
like a
passion, like having
yeah,
passion for what you do. And I agree. There is sometimes that God factor to the passion that you have because on the other side of it, you now have a new title. You're a
Yeah.
movie creator. You know, you're a director, you're an illustrator. Yes, a lot of this was done through AI, and I got to talk about the copyright part of that,
Hmm.
but you still get the benefit of being the creator of it. There's not a podcast heroes that I know of, as far as anybody using that name. So creating a name, creating the poster, it's on the
Hmm.
thumbnail, right?
Yeah.
All of those little bits and pieces, doing the press release, getting it to people, getting it in front of people. I know there's some news coverage covered this podcast, the release of the movie. I mean, you
Yes.
did everything that you needed to do to not make it just Joe Swift and his computer, and we made a movie, and you're sharing it with friends and family. Like, you actually pushed this using the other things, the other skills that you have, and the connections that you have to get it out in front of people. And I think that is even just as much of an accomplishment as is building the show. Because a lot of people would be like, hey, I got a great movie, but I don't know what to do
Yeah.
with it. And you clearly knew the next steps.
Yeah. That was part of the challenging part, not this actually the creating, but turning it into a real, like how almost as close as possible with my budget on or making a real movie.
Right.
The whole process, the business side of it, the marketing, telling people, trying to get it out on media outlets and stuff like that. So I'm still working on it, but yes, that was all a part of the frustration and of building the movie.
Man, I think that's great. So if someone's out there watching right now, even live with us or even in the comments in the replay, if you got a question for Joe, let's put it in the comments. We'll definitely ask him, because going through this process is a lot that he has learned and has done that we can glean from. You don't have to do an illustrated podcast, heroes type of movie. I will be teaching later on, Joe, in the upcoming weeks, of how to take your podcast and
Mhm.
go to the next step with repurposing and all of that. So there was a movement probably about 2 months ago where people were taking their podcast and rendering them as babies. You remember
Yes, I
that?
seen that.
Seeing that?
Yes,
So what happened for that month and a half, what that was really popular, was that
trending.
it was trending, right? It was a trending thing to do, but people were using that to repurpose their podcast.
Yeah, I seen that.
So why, in my mind, Joe, like, we're sitting here now, you're in your studio in New York, I'm in Alabama, but we can actually repurpose this. Was us sitting on a couch next to each other talking about this?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Pixar animation. It can be any animation that we want it to be. I mean, we can make whatever characters that we want to be Joe
Yes.
and to be Strick and sit right next to each other and repurpose parts of this. I'm talking about it, man. I got to do this.
To have it live on. Yeah, that's what I say to myself. I'm saying that's a good idea, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I actually got to do it.
Just,
Yeah,
but it could take, because it's just one scene, so you wouldn't have to do, more than one scene. Like, the backdrop could always stay the same, and then once you do the character, all you have to do is just get their mouths to move, and then you can tell the computer, you can do the prompt was, okay, I need a different angle.
yeah.
Okay, the camera needs to be here, and you may be able to get away, depends on what program you're using, doing more than 10 seconds or doing more time.
I did
And
something similar, not as the babies, but as my mother and me, as characters talking about the movie, almost like entertainment report style.
I did see that. I
Yeah,
sure did. I
I think it
did see
was
that.
a minute, so roughly around a minute.
And that is a great way of making sure you repurpose it and
Yeah.
using the technology to do it. James Hicks, what's up to you, brother?
Hey,
Like,
James.
this is a conversation for you, man. Like, I know you will really enjoy what we're talking about, because it's pushing the envelope. I don't think so. now that James chimed in, James actually did have been using AI to repurpose, or he was creating using AI. So he had an AI twin. James, you didn't think
Mm.
I knew about that, sir? I did. I saw you on TikTok using the AI twin. But it's same type technology, right?
Yes.
And all we're saying is it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be you. You can make animated characters, and you can do whatever you want it to do. Um, I think that okay. So I'm a DJ, all right. Well, I was a DJ in a former life. I still use the title, but my shows were more like a featured show, and I was the head DJ. I had a female voice. Female voice was always a sense of reason from a female perspective, and they did news. Okay, so they
Okay.
were the news reporter, but they were also, I just call them like the female voice news reporter, and the sensitivity to representing women on the show. And then I would have a comedian. All right, somebody that's
Yeah.
funny. You know, nobody is funny. It's me, but just somebody that's funny that can kind of keep it light, keep the energy going. So it's two guys and a girl. I'm the head comedian, and then the girl reporter, and women's support. And doing that concept of knowing where people were structured, it's easy to then say how you could build something out that keeps each character in that structure and just do the prompts around it. I don't know. I
Just
need to flush
came
that
up.
out a little bit.
Yeah. But that's how my mind was thinking. Like stuff was just coming to me. I was like, let me start this.
Yeah, yeah, James, we got to definitely keep pushing the envelope, and that's how we do it. You just never know who would glean something from what you're doing or what system would work. All right, as things are moving, Joe, I just feel like one day there's gonna be a system that gets it right. It's gonna be
Hmm.
scary because it's gonna look and sound and act like you. So a lot of the things with my deal, like with AI voices, I use AI voices all the time to do
Okay.
voiceovers, but I can't do text to speech because it's
Mm.
hard getting them to get the inflections right.
Yes,
As a
correct.
DJ, I speak a particular way. I'm not saying I pronounce all my words right, but there is a flow to what I do, up and down, fast, slow it down, and then in at a certain point.
That's your
Well,
style.
that's my style, but I'm not sure you can teach. I hadn't found one that you can teach the rhythm to. So what I do is speech to speech.
Okay.
So I speak it during my ups and downs, and then
Hmm.
there's a way for you to say how aggressive it is and similar it is. I mean, I use 11 Labs to do it, and they normally do it pretty well. They do it so well, I find myself questioning how I do the
Scary.
voiceovers
Okay.
because it's repeating what I said, and I'm like, did I really say that word like that? Like I'm listening to them interpret what I said, and I'm
Hmm.
mispronouncing words big time. Now I don't hear it. I'm
Because
from the
you're saying
South.
it.
Because I'm saying
Okay.
it, because I'm from the South, so I have a way of pronouncing certain words. Now I'm better than I used to be, but sometimes it just didn't come out. Like I was trying to pronounce the word team, but it
Mm.
came out as teens, T E
Oh,
E
okay.
N, and that was supposed to
Gotcha.
be team. It's things like that. So the AI listening to me, sometimes it gets it a little wrong, only because I'm wrong.
Gotcha.
I need to pronounce my words a little better sometimes. That being said, when I do mispronounce my words, the people that listen to me automatically understand.
Understand what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's really weird. We wouldn't accept it from a computer, but we accept it from humans all the time.
Hmm.
So sometimes, even though the AI didn't pronounce it right, I keep it in
Yeah.
because
We're not
it
perfect.
pronounced what I did. And I think that human imperfection, if done right, that human imperfection is what I think people would question is that AI, because if it was AI, why did I mispronounce that wrong? Or just why
Mm.
did they mispronounce that? Not wrong, but it's mispronouncing is wrong.
Well, having it all sounding perfect probably makes it sound like AI because humans are not perfect in the
Not
way we
perfect.
speak. Yeah. So I said that must be AI because it's sounding too
Too
everything is
perfect.
perfect.
Everything's
And then
perfect.
especially from certain areas of the country or different parts of the world. Well, they usually say it like this. Why did it just say it so, you know, like textbook perfect, which is not supposed to be?
Right. Because if you're doing voiceovers for the New York area, guess what? There's a real diction that New Yorkers
Correct.
have that's different than Alabama. You
Mm,
know, we're going to pronounce our words wrong. You go to Texas, guess what? Texas, Louisiana, I mean, definitely Louisiana. Like, who can
mm.
understand some of those things, that Creole tone, right?
Yeah.
They just pronounce things differently. And knowing that as a human, you got to be able to you got to be able to figure that out too. I think you do.
Hmm.
And it's just my experience um, because, again, I use speech to speech. So I can get a woman's voice, a narrator's voice. It's all different type of voices, but they have the rhythm that I'm looking for and that my audience is looking to have, and it's not just straight.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
I
just
understand.
straight. Like if you listen to like with AI right now or
Mm.
TikTok, you know, TikTok has that narrator voice, and everybody, if you
Yeah,
think
I know
about
the
it, you say, well,
voice.
that's a TikTok voice.
Talk voice.
And it's really 11 Labs, but it's the voice that everybody's using. He's just straight. So if you try to use him, it's kind of like, you know, it's not, if
Like
it's
that.
longer than 15 seconds or 30 seconds, you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
You're going to lose
Well, that's
people.
why with the I feel that it's not there yet because of exactly what you're saying.
But there's coming a day. It
Yeah, it's
could be next
getting
week,
close.
Joe.
Exactly.
It could be
Could be
next week.
tomorrow.
And there he is, Kirk Nugent,
Hey,
checking
Kurt.
in with us. Hey, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's right on it with the dictions, right? Whether it's scrimps or strimps. Yeah, brother.
Correct.
I'm sorry. There's a biblical text where um, the people looked alike,
Hmm.
but in order for them to know where they were, what uh, area they were from, they asked them pronounce different words, and if they pronounced it a certain way, they knew what camp they were from, and they would be put somewhere else. But yeah,
Okay.
so that diction thing is a big deal, is a really big deal. That being said, I really want to just dive in now to the copyright stuff. Okay, let's talk about that for a second,
Very important.
because your idea, um, you were inspired enough to do it. You took the time to do it, and now you want to put it up and put it in people's hands for people to watch. How do you monetize that, and who actually owns the copyright?
Those are all good questions. That's the part that slowed me down to make me say to myself, "Oh, this is a real business." And the technology is so new, it's changing. So this made me go into business mode, learning more about copyright, trademark, LLC, all that stuff. And then I'm asking myself questions and just asking questions in general. Well, if the audio is not of real people, how can you copyright something that's not real and all these different things? Who owns the copyright? Is it the company that makes the tool? But they're getting it from, are they legally getting it, or so much different stuff? Do I own the actual copyright? Well, I made it. Well, or did I make it? You know, it's I'm still trying to figure all this out. I've been speaking to lawyers and business people, and one of the main things was just get it out. You know, me just sitting on it and just thinking and thinking, it will never be out.
I get it.
You
I
know,
get it. Well, and it's true. I like it. You know, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't have to done is very much so um, better
but I
than
created
perfect.
the business so that way, for example, when people buy the movie, it goes into a business account, stuff like that.
I got you. So it is up for purchase.
Yes, it's up right now on Podcast Heroes, the movie.com.
Okay, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah,
All right.
podcastheroesthemovie.com.
I'll make sure I put it up
Thank you.
because I want people to be able to get to it and buy it.
And I have,
If I
let's
misspelled
see.
this, because
Uh
let me just do this. Put my glasses on, man.
Hold on, everyone. Yeah, podcast heroes the movie.com. And there's a coupon code for 20% off if you type podcast 20, the number 20. Podcast 20. It's 20% off the movie. Podcast
All right.
heroes the movie.com.
There we go. Y'all check that to make sure I got it, and somebody buy it like right now. I don't care. We ain't even tell them. Whatever it costs, it costs. We're gonna purchase this movie like right now. Okay. That looks right though, Joe. The
Let's
comments.
see. Let me check it.
So as you check it, so guys, the part that this is something I want to say, Joe, and for everybody, Kirk, Kerwin,
That's correct.
everybody. Yeah, thank you. James, this came to me last week. I have a friend that reached out to me like a whole bunch of content creators. Yes, thank you, Kirk. There's like a whole lot of content creators. They're going like squirrel,
Yeah.
right? And because there's so much technology that's coming up, and they are actually starting to do something with music, AI music, jingles, just making short music things for people, right? And songs and pitching songs. Because guess what? Suno, Udio, and Google has one now
Yep.
where they can create music. These things are pumping out music really fast and easy. Now, if you're a real musician, you can
Scary.
hear through it. Huh? Say that again?
So that's scary.
Well, let me tell you what the scary part is. In the AI and the system, when you use it, who owns it when it's created? AI does. Udio. What's that? Suno?
Zuno.
Google? They own it. So if let's go to the next step. What is actually music? Music, okay,
It's changing.
is changing, but is nothing more than a numeral algorithm. It's numbers. It's a mathematic equation. All
Binary
right.
code.
Say that again.
Binary ones and zeros. Once is on the computer.
It can be, but there are combinations of notes at different
Mm.
places, different speeds, and all that kind of stuff, right? At the end of the day, that is what music is. It's notes, music, speed, and all of this. Those combinations being put together makes a song. Yes, we have hundreds of years of songs that are being made. But as of 2022, and these systems started to come out, now they're using some of those models to make music. Guess what? As the AI system is making music, they're making and have the ability faster than any human to do all of the calculations.
That's true.
Think about it, Joe. No matter what a musician could create in the future, AI could have already created it.
Yeah, I think about that. I say to
Already
myself,
created it.
the next generation, like kids, kids nowadays, will they even care that it wasn't created by humans?
No, nobody would care. To be honest with you,
Mm.
if you listen to a great song, whatever style, genre that you like,
It's a great song.
it's a great song. It sounds great. And you're not going to worry. I think there'll be a time, just like we say, okay, I can look at a picture and see it was AI generated. I can look at what Canva creates AI, and it's not, all of the lines are not filled out. There's going to become a time where it gets better and better and better, right? There's going to come a time where, well, that was an AI song. It's too perfect. And then they're going to dirty it up like humans
Mm.
do, okay? And it's gonna sound just like all these other people. If Timberlake, not Timberlake, Timberland, if Timberland is using AI to create,
Yeah, sooner. Yeah.
yeah, it's over with. He's using it. Everybody is going to, and I'm thinking that he's probably doing what I'm talking about. Basically, if you have the ability to hurry up and get all of this music copywritten, regardless of what I'm gonna use it for, I would never release it, but I can copyright at date and time when it was actually made. When the next person say, "Oh man, I got this great song. We went in the studio. Here's the
Yeah.
song," and the system is gonna say that song has already been written. If you want to release it, you gotta go pay so and so.
That's the business.
Think that's gonna be the next business. So all of the record companies are failing right now, letting people go. Guess what they're gonna do with this money now? They're gonna buy Udio. They're gonna buy Suno with all of this music and the ability to create music because it's just a math equation
Yeah.
every day. It could do it so much faster. So when somebody thinks they're a kid, they think, "Hey man, I got it. This is a great song." Yeah, you can release it, but we already have the rights to this interpretation. Here it is.
That's crazy.
And now, if you want to release your song, you got to pay them. The record
Yeah.
companies are back in business because they'll be the ones that you got to go to because of AI. You got to go to the record companies to be able to even release your music because here, the system has already created it, waiting on you to get it.
Yeah. Technology is so
Does that make
crazy.
sense, though? I mean, I know this is abstract thinking, but what else could you do with AI music? Just make a ton of it.
I don't know what else right now, but
Just
it's
make a
it's just
ton of
moving
it.
so fast.
So right
Yeah.
now it could be it's the same thing we could potentially do, Joe. I think, doing a song that's for fun, an intro for the stream show. Oh, it's
Mm.
fun. It's, we built the lyrics. It's really, really cool, and we can play it online, but it's not monetized.
Ties, yeah.
But using it as a reference track, people could use it as a reference track and get some ideas. As long as they
Mhm.
don't use the whole thing, but I really like the combination and that note. And my wife is a jazz flutist, so I'm around the music a lot, and I know how they manipulate music to be able to make an original tune. To be honest
Yes.
with you, what most artists do is no different from what AI does.
It's
It's
just
just
that
who's
now it's not a person, it's a computer, so you feel kind of strange.
exactly. We feel strange because it's a
Yes.
computer doing what humans have traditionally done. Listen to the music, they have always kind of been the same. Always kind of been the same. That being said, let's see if I can get um some people on here. I got Kirk that
Cool.
actually put his stuff in the green room. Kirk, I guess he's still trying to get in. Put him on
Oh,
here as
okay.
number one. But Joe, I know this is a part of the conversation because we're talking about copywriting. You really want to be mindful of how all that works for you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
making sure that the script is right and that it does have its copyright thing to it, because that is something that, even though you had help with it, you still own it. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, and there are some legal things you just want to be aware. Like if you used it for the intro music, all that other kind of stuff you have to be thinking about. But by it being a movie and not like an audio, like a song, you may be able to get there even faster.
Oh no, it is a song because I created a soundtrack
Oh my
to the
gosh, I
movie.
didn't know that. So
Yeah, I
you
did
get
a
the movie
soundtrack.
or the soundtrack,
Yeah.
and you're selling
So,
it on your own platform, so you don't have to worry about iTunes and all these other kind of people, right?
well, the movie I'm selling on my platform, the audio is actually streamed on Spotify.
But
That
there's no
was
problem with Spotify or any of that. Excuse me.
at as of now, no. I just did the soundtrack part. Not that I don't care, but I said let me just see if that's even possible to do. And if they take it down, they take it down. But it was to create it as real as possible to have a soundtrack to go along with the movie. As you were saying, the copyright thing. I was trying to figure all that out at the same time as creating it and seeing if I could actually get it out to the public. And so far, it's still out, until they take it down.
Okay.
If they take it down, you know.
And it's a test. It's a test, and everybody's passing so far. I get it.
Similar to Napster back in the day and those platforms, you get what you get until they shut it down, and then you go on to the next,
Go on to the next thing. I get it.
which was
But it's
iTunes.
working for you.
Yes, it's been working. And that opened me up to open other people up to seeing who I am, what I'm able to do to get that help get me more business and thus expose, my skills overall.
How has that worked for you, though? I mean, are you getting calls to do that?
It's been slowly increasing. I'm getting more exposure in other states, not just New York. Other people, and especially people in other industries, are seeing my
Mm-hmm.
skill and asking me, "Hey, can you create a commercial for me? Can you help me set up my podcast? Can you train me on what you're doing? How can I learn more?" So
Oh
I'm
man,
saying to
that's
myself,
cool.
"Oh wow, it's expanding into something different than what I originally planned."
That's the calling card, though, right?
Yes, yeah,
That's the calling card. So I did put the link into the system, Hank, if you want to come on. And that being said, let me bring on my man Kirk, because he's hanging out here with
What's
us.
good?
Hey man, I
hey,
appreciate you taking the time to come through.
Hey, man. Listen, it's been a little bit. Last time we were on the show together, Strick, you were in the room.
I was actually in the room. I was
he was
actually in the
telling me
room.
that.
One of my best times in the community yet, man. It has
Come
not
on,
been topped, brother. You have set the bar really high.
let's go. Man, I've been following what Joe has been doing. So when I saw
Thank you.
the thumbnail, I was like, that's so dope. I'm glad he's gonna be able to chat with him, talk through some of the stuff that he's been doing. It's coming as the Wild West, man. Just a lot of stuff
Yeah,
coming down the pipe. It's
correct.
a lot of opportunity. It's hard to parse all of it, but
Were you following what I was talking about with AI music? What do you think about that?
man, I, I think
It's a
I
little
don't know.
abstract in thinking, but I just like what are they gonna do with all this music? If you have a computer,
Right.
right, it's no different than Bitcoin mining. If you guys know anything about Bitcoin
I
mining,
do. I
they
do. Very
have
familiar.
there's a reason why people are buying farmland up, right? And it's
Right.
not
Yes.
because we're farming. So server systems, all right, to be able to do the switching and the AI computing, guess what? You need
Yeah.
a lot of land to be able to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh
And
man.
basically, they're going to have computers running and running and running and running. We need the power grids to be able to handle all of that. And we need a lot of land to put these servers on to be able to do it. What? It's not just people using AI to tell it how to cook a recipe or what recipe for this particular thing, right? It
Hmm.
has to be monetized. And if certain industries are losing leverage because of AI, and like independent music is like going through the roof right now, is the majority of music being made is independent. So what are the record labels planning to do? They have to do something.
Yeah. So
And
I think my theory here is, and it'll be unpopular. This is Kirk's opinion, not Ecamm's, not Strick's, not Joe's, but my theory is, there's always a counter emergence, right? So right now the big thing is AI, and with AI comes somewhat of a further democratization, but just like you said, somebody's trying to figure out how can I capitalize on this?
right,
How can I be the one? Um, I just also feel like, so in the regular content world, platforms like podcasts, long form podcasts, 25, 30 minutes, they are doing very well right now. Another type form of content that's doing well right now is exactly what we're doing, live, LIVE. Like, I can see Hank Russell's comment. I can see that you posted in the chat, the link for Zoom. Like, that's live.
right.
And
Mhm.
just me saying that lets everybody know that it's live. And the same thing with long form content. It's just AI can't duplicate either. And so what we're seeing is a huge focus on these types of content that AI can't touch. I just believe that where music's concerned, while we may not have seen it yet, maybe it's not quite out there yet, I think that's exactly what we're going to end up seeing. We're going to see people come up with ways for it to be, for us to know that this is our own. That this is something that was done by a real human being, that was done by flesh and blood, and people will put an intrinsic value on that over and above anything that AI could ever create. That's my theory. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm good with being wrong, but I just feel like for those that are, kind of see, the writing on the wall, as it were, I do feel like there's this counter emergence happening as well. This huge refocusing on what's real and what is produced. So yeah, just like you said, AI can dirty it up. AI is going to be able to start mimicking and doing things, but what has yet to be introduced or created or invented is a way for us to distinguish between what is AI produced and what is real. And then somebody may say, well, what AI is produced was also produced through the hands of someone, so it could be real too. So you have this inception effect. But my point is, there's gonna be maybe we go back to like fully, live recorded albums. Why? Because that becomes a thing that you can't duplicate anywhere else, right? In the faith-based space, that's been a big thing for a while. So no, there is going to be a way for, because like Ty Tribbett, Fred Hammond, there's so many guys, these live albums. I mean, I know bands that would practice based on what was on the record, and the bass guitarist would practice the way the original track recorded the note incorrectly, because he hit the wrong note when he was recording it live, and they would practice that because they knew that's what was done. Yes, AI can duplicate, but I'm just saying there's going to be this emergence of finding ways to differentiate between the two. And I think that differentiation will equate to additional money. Like, people are going to put more value on what is non-AI than what is AI. That's just Kirk's opinion.
So Kirk, you are correct. And I think that's the other side of my conversation as well. Live performances are very different from what is being streamed.
Absolutely.
Joe and I both would agree or said that, hey, we don't care when the music, like if we're streaming music, who created it. Like, if it's good music, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, we don't know who the producers are. And if it was AI and it was still good, the genre that I like, the music that I like, the bass line, if it's going to make me bow my head, I don't care. But over the hundreds of years that this has been done, people have gotten all gussied up, go outside of their homes, whether it was walking, horse and carriage, by car, or by plane, to see a live show. And if you know anything about like what Beyonce is doing, and my wife is on from a smooth jazz perspective, we was just in a whole nother city, right? A whole nother city, and people listening to her, they have never heard her before. And we got hundreds of people in this room. AI cannot do that. Now, we're not talking about robots being able to play music. That, couple of hundred more years, we may be able to see that. If people get that lazy to get robots to do live music, maybe. But right now, I don't think live performances and seeing your artist actually sing, actually play an instrument, that part, I don't think is going to go away. And it will be, just like you said, Kirk, is what is going to be more expensive in the future.
Two things I want to say right there, and I'll let Joe jump back in. But number one, you hit the nail on the head. In person, so long form podcasts have seen an uptick, major uptick. Live content has seen a major uptick. But the other thing that has seen a major uptick, and I've seen this across the board, especially for coaching consulting, is in-person events. In-person events have seen a major uptick. We're not even talking about like hundreds. We're talking about small boutique gatherings, similar to what we're going to experience in a few weeks with Creator Camp. But I mean, just, 20, 30, 50 maxed out. It is high ticket, but it is an experience. I know my coach does one in Vegas that I went to in June, July, that time frame. It was absolutely amazing. But again, small group, and you had to be in the room. There was nothing that was
Right.
streamed, right? And so
Right.
there's this, again, you're putting that premium ticket on that live experience. And I think in addition to that, musicians can now leverage what creators have leveraged. And what is that? That's the perfect creation of the content. Meaning, here's the story. Like, I'll be honest, there's several albums that I didn't resonate with when I listened to them first off, but when I heard the writer or musician talk about what they were going through when they wrote that song, when they came up with that beat, when they talked about that experience, I fell in love, because I now had a window into their world. And that's something that AI cannot do. They can't tell stories, and stories is the ultimate cheat code. You add story to anything, you're good to go. And so I feel you. I see, David Hunt is in the chat. Kerwin Bonnell is talking about radio personalities having problems with AI using their voice. I feel all of that. There is what AI can't do, because AI can only do what we tell it to do. But what it cannot do is have an actual soul and story. And so somebody might be out there saying, "Oh, I'm going to challenge you on that, Kirk." That's good. That's cool. But I'm just saying, like, when I was 2 years old, AI ain't telling that story. You know what I'm saying?
No,
my dad played, I'm going to funk you up for the first time. Like, ain't no AI telling that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's those experiences when we infuse them into the content, regardless if that content is regular, like what we do, or if it is music. I just feel like that kind of takes it to another level, makes it a unique thing. And if that becomes something that is top tier and it is a different genre of music, I'm telling you, it's going to be at a premium.
I agree. I agree with that. That being said, this is what I want to do really, really quick, because I do have some people in the Zoom room. I want to go to that Zoom room really quick, guys. So
let's go.
And David, I'm going to bring you guys on. And Kerwin talks about some things. So I want to go into Kerwin's thing, and Hank, and then David, you guys can respond to that as well. So, hey, guys, thank you so very much for coming on.
Oh, come on. Look at this.
Okay.
I'm in the middle.
No.
I think Strick should be in the middle.
So I got to figure out, at one point, there was something that you can press to make the speaker in a particular spot. And, I don't do this enough. So we just go to, like, when somebody speak, I'll just move them over. So I'll do it manually. That being said, how does it work, guys? Does anybody know how it works with copywriting after AI has created it?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. You got to read the user agreement with each of these AI systems. And it's my understanding that if AI creates it, especially with audio, they own a part of that creation.
That's what I heard as well.
It depends. I think if it depends on your level of access to that AI creation. So for me, when I create a song in, let's say, Suno, for example, I can use that in any commercial application or video or live stream, because I have a paid subscription to Suno. So, and the other thing is, if I want to copyright that at the Copyright Office, I then have to add my own piece. Now, if you had the Suno create the lyrics for you, then that is something, then you can't really claim that. But if it was your lyrics that you put in, then you can copyright that. And I believe you can really only copyright the parts that you have created. So if I sang over the top of it, or if I played my guitar or piano in the recording as well, then that really helps to solidify that process.
Give us a practical example, David. Like, give us a chord or two, man. What are you saying right now?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna tease us? Are you gonna sing something? What are you saying right now, David?
Man,
I'm visual. I need to see. Switch a camera or something for us, Doc. We want to see.
David, are you really sitting behind the piano right now?
I'm sitting in front of one. Yes.
Yes, he is.
This guy.
That's live.
This my guy, David.
Just the two of us.
Come on.
Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
And he's switching the camera.
That's dope, man.
That is nice.
Hey,
When
Joe,
this is why I love the Ecamm fam.
This is what the Ecamm
What
family
you
is all
won't
about.
do for love.
This is what the Ecamm family is all about, man. That's just awesome, dude. That's awesome. And now we got a copyright strike because we got
we do.
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder hit the show.
All you had to do was change the lyrics.
It was AI. It was AI.
It's AI.
It was here. No, so if I can take that sample, I can upload it and say, give me something similar or something like that. It spits out something else. I can grab that audio and then I can re-record the vocal part because now they have the stem splitter in Suno. So you can, generate your stems, upload it into like Logic or something like that, or Ableton Live, or even GarageBand. You want to keep it cheaper. Right. And then you re-record or add harmonies, or you can really reimagine what the AI has imagined. Because sometimes it's like, I don't know what I could do. So I put it in there and I get some ideas and then I bring those into Logic and spice it up.
And that makes sense. I guess my question is, if you have it and it does the stems, if you re-record the stems, like I like that idea, but I'm going to re-record each part. So it's no longer the computer recording that you're using.
Correct.
You're using your recording, and you use that as a reference track or as an idea. Now it's yours.
Correct. Yeah. And so the beautiful thing about that is it really then becomes your own work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can copyright the whole thing, send that down to the copyright office and get your certificate.
There
and
you
you're
go.
golden.
See,
upload it also.
Once I saw David pop up, I was like, well, I'm not talking about music no more. Between him and DJ Strick, I figure let me just be quiet. But Valerie, you were not mistaken. You did hear the melodious sounds of the maestro or the minstrel. We used to call him on my show, the minstrel, Mr. David Hunt, Doc David Hunt. And I will say this as well, Valerie. I just absolutely love the Ecamm fan, man. Like the fact that he switched that camera to the keyboard shot.
That's a skill.
Strick, come on, Strick. Come on. That was tough. Hey, Strick. And here's the thing, Strick. I know for a fact that's not the only shot he's got. He only gave us one. He's got another.
He's got multiple.
He's got multiple. He's unfair. It's
unfair. Yeah.
Hey, let me do this real quick while we can. I want to go to Hank real quick. Hank had a question when he came on. Hank, I want to be sure we get your question.
What's up, Kirk, man? Honestly, I think my question was kind of answered already, but as far as like, how far can you take it without risking, monetization? Because they've been passing it where you can't use AI in order to get monetization.
I see the law is changing all the time.
That's what I'm saying. It's so confusing right now. I do not know how far I can take it, like with my own. That's why I don't mess with AI right now, because I don't want it to risk any monetization, abilities.
So you make a good question, but there's two sides to this that I want to be sure that we talk about. So when we talk about monetization, normally that term is equated to YouTube.
Right.
Being monetized on YouTube with monetization, which is different from you making money or selling parts of AI that you use to create. Okay? Because at the end of the day, guys, I like what Joe did. Joe didn't allow that to be a stumbling block for him. He put it out and he's waiting on somebody to say, hey, Napster, let me get that back. Which I understand. But it's created. He's pushing the envelope. Okay, he pushed the envelope a little bit, but it is definitely something that's out there that he can say that he created, which I can really appreciate. What happens is, because some of this is ambiguous, it's going to slow us down. I say produce it, I would even send it to the copyright people and let them tell me that I can't copyright it. Now, it is right now on most of the social media platforms, they're asking you if whatever you're posting, if AI help you produce it. So if you're using the AI twin, they want to know that this is the AI twin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So there's some things in there they're gonna stop. YouTube has come out and said that, hey, we're not gonna monetize you as much if you're using AI, if it's fully AI. But hey, guys, I don't
Right.
need YouTube's monetization when I got a chill hop station full of AI music and it's 1 million subscribers and people are now paying me to put their stuff in it.
Right. And that's where the question comes in, and you might have already answered it, is that what other platforms are there besides YouTube that have such a, such a broad audience and for, you were talking about your movie, Joe, and it's a nice thought for people to visit a website and stuff like that, but it's also difficult if you don't have like a production company that has, some sort of like, backing behind it, like somebody like Angel Studio or something like that. They strictly put all their movies on their app and their website,
Yeah.
but they've also created the name for it. So, how do you get around that and be able to monetize and be able to make money off of it without using YouTube?
Hank,
Well,
man,
I
that's a
put my
great
movie.
question.
Yeah. I put my movie on Vimeo. It hasn't made much money, but I made more money on Vimeo than on YouTube in 10 years. So I kind of bypassed the whole YouTube thing. The YouTube would have gave me more views, but Vimeo's giving me more money. So I'm trying to see which, do I need money or views?
Right.
And then
Ooh, you saying a
Yeah.
lot right there, Joe.
No,
That's
I
big.
like no, I like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Vimeo.
Yeah, it's similar to YouTube, but it's more for like monetization. I don't know the full definition, but
Subscription models. They
yeah.
actually, YouTube has a free subscription model. Vimeo has a paid subscription
Yes.
model.
That's
But
correct.
it is the largest, one of the largest competitors. I'm not saying the competitor. They are a competitor with YouTube. You can't archive your videos there. People use Vimeo a lot, and they also have a system that I use called Live Studio 6, which is a switching thing to get to YouTube
Oh, yes,
as
I
well.
use that.
So there's a lot of technology that comes out of Vimeo. Yeah, you can check them out.
Yeah, Vimeo is one of the platforms. And then from that, it allowed me to get interviews on other platforms that led to people wanting to hire me directly to create stuff. So I'm like almost forgetting about YouTube. Like, YouTube, what? I'm making my money somewhere else.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I still love YouTube. YouTube is
It's a,
where the
it's a,
eyeballs.
it's a different model, and I think
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't think it's a wrong way. It's not and I think that you're going you're going with it, as they say, water finds a way. You're going the path of least resistance, essentially. I mean, so because
Yeah.
even if you got the views on YouTube, if you're not in the partner program, if you're not already in their version monetized, then you still don't get money. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's a wrong thing. But I do think that for those who already have done some of that legwork on YouTube, grown the platform, if you're at 10, 20, 30,000 subs already, maybe you're in the hundreds, then you do already have kind of a captive audience already there that you can drop that video to. But I love the monetized strategy of using Vimeo. I think that makes perfect sense. And I don't want to discount this other aspect that you've shared as well, Joe, where it's like, people coming to you to learn this is another
That part.
monetization
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
path towards getting the bag. So getting it out there, even if YouTube doesn't pay you. What you follow where I'm going. Even if your YouTube doesn't pay you, but if it blows up and folks are just like, whoa, how do I? If more people can come to you to say, how do I do this? That's another monetization angle as well. So there's a lot of different pieces, and this is the Wild West, y'all. I want to be clear.
All of that, Kirk.
Yeah.
All of it. I was going to say
It's
the
a
same
yes
thing.
and. It's a yes,
Yes,
and.
yeah.
I was
And
going
I'm
to say
using the
crazy out here.
$20 plan. The $20 plan.
There you
for
go.
now.
Yeah. So I was going to say the
Valid
same
question.
thing. Using it as
Great
a
question.
calling card.
Yep.
This is what I can create, and people then would pay you to be able to create something similar for them, man, that is monetization, dude. That's just what it's all about. I had a guy, rich guy, come, and he was talking at our church or something like that. So he said, hey, you go into a neighborhood and start, like if you were a house washer, just start washing people's houses. Hey, I'll do it for free. You're out there watching houses, then all the neighbors drive by and see you watching that house for free. They don't know that that person didn't pay. You watch the second one, free. By the time you get through with that, if you do a good enough job, somebody's going to stop you and say, hey, how much do you charge for that? And if you have done this for free, but now the third house you're getting paid, the fourth house you're getting paid, the fifth house you're getting paid to do it. And by the time you get to the sixth house, you may have even doubled your price.
Wow.
So you have to be thoughtful of all of that when it comes to business. What Joe did with making these podcast heroes, inside of the chat, I did put the link to his website. I want you guys to go check it out. Not only is it done through AI, very well done. He's got music to go along with it, and the storyline with him and his mother helping people build their podcast, guys, is what we're all about. We're doing the same thing. And to hear the stories that he's helping them with is stuff that we've done, and he's illustrated and put it out there. I'm just like so very excited about that. Thank you, Roz.
I want to add one more thing to that I didn't say. In the past couple of weeks, schools has been coming to me asking me, can I teach it to the kids? So as I was saying about YouTube, it's like, oh yeah, like not that I'm forgetting about YouTube. I love YouTube, but it's like trying to find another avenue. I don't want to be held just to YouTube.
Come on.
What age range?
Anywhere. Well, the kids are from, what was it? From elementary school to high schoolers, because of different schools, a few different schools wanted me to talk to the kids about it.
And Joe, children's books is already there, and you got your two nieces that have those voices. I mean, you already got the illustrations. Now you're taking those scenes and putting captions underneath, and it's just one sentence. And we helped this person with the next podcast. This is Cheryl at the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. So this is growing bigger than I originally.
But it's just so awesome as creators. All right, everybody on that's watching this is creating something, right? Mm-hmm. This has got to be opening your mind and inspiring you of what you can do. I want to take the limits off of your hands and using Joe in the podcast heroes as an example of what you can do. Yes, we don't know all of the details about the copyright stuff. Okay, that's gonna be a hurdle you have to overcome. But if you use AI as a great reference tool, you have a better opportunity of putting out and calling it your own. The illustrations that are AI, guess what? You want to read the agreement that you have with them for all the illustrations that you render through them. But man, put it out. Find a ways to put it out. If you're not monetizing, it is a way to monetize your ability to actually do the work. It's no different than what we're doing now. What we're doing now is a free tool for people to be able to say, oh, I like Strick. Oh, that's my man Kirk, and there's David, and then there's Hank, and then there's Joe. I wonder if these guys can help me. I sure can. Here's my link.
There's my link.
Yep.
Let's go.
So
I just wanted to add to that, for what you're saying, the ability to utilize the platforms as a showcase, like you were talking about. You watch this house, you watch that house. By the time you get to the third house, someone's going to ask a question. And so making sure that people can see you do the thing like you're doing, like we're doing now, live, then they don't need, as Kirk says, the smell test. They don't need they could go straight to the YouTube and see that you're doing it, or they can go straight to your website, Joe, and see the movie and realize, oh snap, this is something else. And so I really appreciate being able to come out and do it live. You could also record a video as well too, but just being able to come out and do it well and wrap the proper story around it, golden.
Right. I want to say this, Joe. When I saw the Podcast Heroes, I didn't know you. I didn't know how I was doing it. I did think that you were a part of a group putting on the Podcast Heroes. I think you did a great job on your own, doing your own promotions to get it out there. And it didn't look like it was just Joe Swift doing it. I
Nope.
want to
That
be
was the
sure
goal.
that that's her. I did not see just one person doing it. I was like, man, this is cool. The whole going up to the premiere and you're premiering the movie. You did everything a big Hollywood
Yep.
group would do to promote their movie. You did that online, and it caught my attention. And I appreciate you even sharing like the part of how you saw some of the things that I was doing, and it encouraged you to go, hey, let me see if I can work on this too. I think all of those things are, what really excites me about what you did. It was well done, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I had to do it so that way I can prove to myself that I actually do it. I wasn't like the legal part. I didn't let that stop me, because if I
That's
did, I wouldn't have created it. And now it gives me a better understanding of how to attack the next movie or the next project.
Come on.
Just having the understanding of it. Beside the whole legal thing, that's very important. But just to even understand, so that I'm better prepared for the next situation.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's positioning, man. Your position.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really
And
is.
moving
It's a
your
great
feet.
conversation for all of us to have.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to, being somebody that's creating, how there's not, so I tell people this all the time. I create every day. Okay. Now I'm creating with AI every day. It is making
true.
what I do faster. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that I'm not thinking. So some people say, oh, here's a brain that's thinking about everything, and this is a brain that uses AI, and it looks like it's less interactive. That's not the case for me. I'm still engaged with all of the process to be able to do it. And Joe, I know that you would testify that it was very, what you say, intellectually engaging to you. Writing the prompts is just a different part of your brain. To write the prompts and for the system to get it wrong and then have to exit. I like everything, but this one, can you just change this? And then it changes everything. I know you went through those times creating it, and that is very intensive. Like from a mental standpoint, that could be very intensive as well. So I don't see where AI is going to make us dumb. If used the right way.
Yeah, if you use the right way. That's key.
I like it. Well, guys, I know we've been on for a while now. Actually, it's coming up on almost an hour and 25 minutes, but you
That's
guys have
crazy.
been sticking with me. I got a chance to hang out with Hank today. David Hunt, my man Kurt Nugent came through, and my goodness, we have a movie creator in the Ecamm fam. His name is Joe Swift. Podcast Heroes. Please go to podcastheroesthemovie.com.
That's it.
And, AI couldn't do it that way, Joe. AI couldn't say what I just said.
Exactly. That's probably in 11 Labs 5.0.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up soon, where you can just hit the button, and I want the inflections that Strick does. But thank you guys so very much for being a part of this conversation. I am hoping that someone is watching this today and is inspired by it. If you are, this is what I want you to do. Next time you create something, I want you to tag Joe Swift. Tag him, let him see what you're creating, and that would encourage him as well, that he inspired you to do what you're doing. Okay? Is that cool, Joe?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. All right, guys, any parting words for anybody?
No, that's it, man. Just excited, man. Always good to see this stream show up and running, doing its thing, man.
Absolutely.
It's good to talk to you all.
Tell us your YouTube channel.
Oh, my YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I was trying to be funny because you don't know if you used YouTube or not.
Oh yeah, I'm on YouTube. It's actually Our World Media Network. ROUR World Media Network.
Yep.
It's a bunch of different content on there. I have like my Tech Talk with Swift. Podcast. Yeah.
That's
Kurt
true.
was actually my first guest when I started a couple years ago. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, just grateful to be here. Strick, thank you so much for opening up the back end for the room so that we could get in and just be able to share what little nuggets we have. Thank you, Joe, for creating the movie. I looked at it just like, oh man, that slaps.
You seen the
Oh
trailer?
my
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Awesome.
real good. And just for information, FYI, I just hit today 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's
That's the wrong button. The clap.
Oh, it works. It works. It works. Hold on.
oh
Where's the
man.
clap?
So
that's awesome.
I appreciate you all, and it's been a journey, but there's no stopping. We're just gonna keep on moving. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to share Strick. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Kirk. Yeah, Joe.
Congratulations to you, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. And we also have Miss Jill in the building.
I saw that, Miss Jill. Miss
Yeah.
Jill.
Thank you for coming through. And
the full-time
she's been on
employee.
with me, and she is the the community manager at Ecamm. So we're so excited about her and all she gets a chance to do for the community. And that is the Ecamm fam. So thank you guys.
That's it.
And Kirk, anything from you before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing some of you guys at camp in a couple of weeks. So just definitely want to say that. And listen, man, the last thing I'll say is this conversation is probably a lot more pivotal, a lot more informational than, you know what I'm saying, the amount of views that we had. And so I would definitely want to see people, run up the likes, run up the shares, because this is where a lot of us, there's a lot of people who are kind of stuck where AI is concerned. They don't really know how to move forward. And so there's a lot of things that were shared in this conversation that really could help in our own situations and circumstances. So definitely want to make sure we get that message out there. Hit up anybody that you can, send them the link, let them know, like, man, this helped me. If it helped you, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing that we want to see. That's what the family's all about.
Perfectly well said, sir. Well said. Definitely hit that like button. And come next week, we're going to be talking more about creating with AI and how we can definitely use it to leverage our content creation. I have some stuff that I've done, even with thumbnails, and I was like, man, this is really cool. They're going to love it when they see it. But it's the idea to kind of open your mind to more things that you can do with content you've already created. So I'll check you guys next week. And man, Creative Camp is right around the corner. You guys get ready.
Let's go.
Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.